Yes, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Avnish Aigye. What's in the CDC Watchalong? Yes, do not rub your eyes because look, it's Wednesday, it's March the 8th, it's Women's Day, and we literally had no bandwidth today. Everyone was taking their day off, including me, but we just thought of doing this particular Women's T20 League watch along in terms of reviewing it because look, Bangalore have lost three now in terms of their opening Premier League games, and that's something to really consider. In this post-mortem of things, I have Gurkirat Singh joining us. And Gurkirat, good to see you, my friend. Slightly late, 11 o'clock, but there's some lots of comments pouring through, which we'll get to in a bit. But your first thoughts on what's been two precious points for Gujarat?
I thought today RCB lost themselves in the chase after the power play. They only scored 29 runs from over 7 to 11. When you're chasing 200 plus, you can't be really, scoring 29 runs in 5 overs without the loss of a wicket. And some blame should also fall on Sophie Devine as well as Perry because uh, Perry moved from 5 of 3 to 24 of 21. And Sophie Devine moved from 31 of 19 to 40 of 31. So I
Yeah.
think that is where the chase got beyond them. And, on the bowling front, I felt, Sophia Dunkley really took them apart. And there was some real poor bowling both by Renuka and the left arm spinner. I mean, they kept feeding her. It was evident that she was looking to go through the offside, and they kept feeding her the same lengths. I was quite disappointed with Renuka on that front, that she didn't really try to change her lens or do anything. And that's why they conceded the amount of runs that they did.
Hmm. And lots of comments coming through, and understandably so, from lots of fans who are maybe taking digs at me and then enjoying each other's laughter with the expense of mine. But that's fine. That's what sport does to you. Subodh, Rujan Reddy, if you're new to the channel, subscribe to Chant, we already know. And Vasandaran, like we said, we're late purely because today is one of those off days in the CDC office where there was absolutely no one. There were last minute cancellations, and we had to kind of figure it out from home. Let's, of course, talk about some of the positives today from generally a Gujarat perspective, right? Because you mentioned one of them, Sophia Dunkley, brilliant. 68 of 27. I haven't seen a more lip smacking inning so far. I know some would say Harman Shafali, but she really kind of played some funky shots. But talk to me about Harleen Diol, Gurkirat. The fact that she didn't get going in the first game, but so far she's come back with 250s. Quite fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, I really liked how she batted today. Instead of I think it was the last game versus UP where she was struggling, but then she got those 4 fours. Today she kept the tempo up, and I
Yeah.
really liked how she was looking to find the boundary quite consistently, and really happy with her progress. I think if she continues to do well at number three, India will have a backup for someone like Jemmy when she's out of form or she's injured. So good to see her do well. And yeah, like I said, Sophia Dunkley was just phenomenal. It's one thing to have the intent, but she had the smarts to manipulate the field, and then she got her execution spot on. No words are enough for her innings today. I mean, 50 of 18 balls, you really have done something special.
Hmm. So both going on to absolutely lambast us, guys, in terms of saying, please do tweet us if the watch along is not on. We're waiting for you, Avnish. Bro, absolutely. I take that on the chin. Going forward, rest assured, so both you will know. And I promise you, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I think we will be doing the watch alongs, and we'll, of course, be doing the India Australia reviews as well from the Ahmedabad test tomorrow. Vaishali Maheshwari, who's sick, has, of course, written into us saying Bangalore lost when they scored only 24 runs against Tanuja and Snee, and also they held back Sri Lanka when needed, as well as changing in the team. Disha deserved one more chance. She mentioned the name there, Gurkirat, Sri Lanka Patil, who got 2 wickets today. She was pretty tight with the ball, and she came in and she kind of played about 4 ball 11. She has potential to be one of those really cool all rounders for the Indian women's team. What do you think?
Yeah, she does, but I thought, one thing that I'm quite disappointed with today is how Smriti got out to an off spinner once again,
Yeah.
and it was a good partnership developing, and at that point of time, I don't think it was needed for her to take that risk because it was the last over of the power play. They'd got the runs, and once that over was done, then she could have easily, batted long. And it's unfortunate to see her get dismissed to the same kind of bowling type. I mean, all 3 games she's been dismissed to an off spinner. So that was something which was disappointing. And then I'm reading that maybe RCB missed the trick by not promoting Heather Knight. That's what I'm reading online. So probably a few mistakes on the tactical side of things.
Okay. Crime Master Gogo saying Elise Pair hairs look superb. Yeah, I think all of them had some holy color to it. Happy Holi, of course, from not just Gokira to me, but all of us here from CDC, and of course, a Women's Day to all you guys. Absolutely brilliant one from that regard. Can anybody tell me how the pitch how to become a pitch curator? Saying Crime Master Gogo. Vasan Narayan saying more domestic players play in leagues, they become better. BCS should allow them playing in the WBBL, etc. There's also one which came from Prashant Kuru saying, where are these guys live scheduled at 9 p.m.? We apologize. Like I keep saying on this live, we really, really sorry about that for not letting you guys know earlier. Just to finish up here, because we can, of course, make a lot of it and compare the men's team to the women's team and how it's just been loss, loss, loss. I mean, it's literally that for the women's team so far in their Premier League history. Vikas Shukla going on to say lack of game awareness from Bangalore think tank, just frustrating as a Bangalore fan just to see this kind of performance. What can change? Because they have the names, they have Dan Kirk on the bench as well. Can she replace one of them? Because Sophie Devine, the one we were questioning today, Gurkirat, has come out and showed that she can still, of course, pack a punch and score a 50. So who do RCB change in terms of their foreign picks? Beg your pardon, Bangalore.
I'm not really sure at this point of time, because we had Nikhil and other experts say that maybe she was the one who was under pressure to retain her place, but I don't think they're going to drop her. Uh, don't think that they're going to try dropping Perry either. So I'm really not sure what they can try. I'm just looking at their 11 right now, and maybe, yeah, maybe they can look, if they want to. The problem is if they drop someone like Shoot, uh, and add a batter, that will make their bowling even weaker, because in 2 games they've conceded more than 200, and in the one game versus Mumbai they conceded 145 odd or 150 plus in under 15 overs. So at this point of time, they really need to find the balance and figure out that how are they going to restrict the opposition to a chaseable total, and if they're batting first, not commit the kind of mistakes that they did in the previous game, where they just lost wickets in a heap in the power play. So yeah, it's a little difficult at this point of time being RCB. That, but I do think that one thing that they can do better is probably utilize their resources in the 11 itself much better than what they did today.
I mean, good points that, and I think lots of people are kind of pouring in their thoughts about changes. Arish going on to say time to bring in Indrani Roy. I think Chant going on to agree with you, saying that RCB had, of course, the night is a positive, Divine, Sri Lanka, and Kanika. Look, let's just focus on Gujarat a little bit to finish on the show, because they got their first win of their Premier League history. Uh, who are the keys for them going forward if they have to win the tournament? Will it be Ashley Gardner, because she again chipped in brilliantly? We don't know about Beth Mooney's injury status. There was, of course, great performances from uh, uh, the other
From
international.
Sophia Dunkley and Haldeen.
Yeah, Sophia Dunkley and Harleen. So what do you put it down to? I mean, their first win, their first points. What really stood out? Was it Dunkley?
Yes, I mean they got to a total where their bowlers had more than a fair margin to defend. I think Annabelle Sutherland could lose her place, because they have named Laura Wolverdat as a replacement player. Probably she could come in, because she went for 56 runs today in her 4 overs. That's a lot. That's even in a 10 over game, in a 10 RPO game, that's 16 runs more than par. So that's really a lot of runs. They'd be happy with how Ash Gardner is doing, because she took again 3 for 31 and got the important wicket of Richa Ghosh, if I'm not wrong, and also got Smithy. So probably I think this is one change that we could see. Maybe Annabelle Sutherland goes out and Laura Wolverdat comes in. Probably that could be the change in the Gujarat lineup in the next game.
Okay, let's see how that unfolds. Of course, Chuchan still going on to tell me that Bangalore need to get rid of at least 2 to 3 of these Smriti Ghosh and Renuka. And he said, of course, earlier
I
that they're
just
not
want to
willing.
tell to I just want to tell Chichan that you need a little bit of patience, especially when you're dealing in the T20 format. I mean, Richa Ghosh is not even 20 at this point of time, so maybe need to give her a little bit of time. And uh, in the first ever WPL, you're not going to have finished products, right? The league has been brought in to make sure that it turns out as a feeder system to the national team. And when in the feeder system, you'll never have complete developed product. The feeder system is there to you know help developing players become into a developed products. Yes, there would be mistakes, and you could point out several mistakes of many upcoming and new players, but that is the process, right? You have to be a little patient. It's only been 3 games, and they've not been ideal either. But like I said, if I am in the RCB camp, and if I am an RCB supporter, I'd be very disappointed with two players majorly. One is Smriti, the other is Renuka. Not because about the not being big match players, but the fact being they've committed the same mistakes. That is something that you don't want to do, especially from someone like Smriti, because she's not a youngster anymore. And to get out to off spin in all 3 games is disappointing. I can understand her getting out, trying to be aggressive in the first game where they were chasing 200, but today they had already gotten the start, and she had been dismissed 2 times to off spin already. So probably avoided taking on that matchup and then look to take on other bowlers, and they were going great guns. So that is disappointing. And then Renuga continuing to bowl in the slot to someone like Sophia Dunkley. That is something which I thought she should have done better than what she did. But apart from that, there have been just few ups and downs, and they've managed. That's because they have 3 losses, and it's a game of very fine margins. The format of very fine margins.
Yeah, and it's honestly heart breaking as a Bangalore fan at times, because you're thinking if this combination work, this one will work. I mean, so far nothing to show for the women's side. But look, let's just focus quickly on tomorrow's proceedings. Delhi versus Mumbai. Is that the inevitable final of the women's T20 league, and how we kind of are seeing things unfold? Because it's one great bowling unit against a sensational batting unit in Delhi.
No, I'd reserve my judgment for that to be the potential final just yet,
Okay.
because yeah, like I've been mentioning, and the pitches are going to get slower, and when those pitches get slower, I do feel that UP will slightly become more stronger with the kind of spinners that they have. So probably need to wait out a little bit. And I don't think that Delhi have the batting depth. It's something which has been the DNA of the franchise, even in the men's league. So yeah, I'll probably wait to say that it's going to be the potential final. We just need to wait and see, and let's just hope that tomorrow's a great game.
Just take this one from Chant, because he's rebuttal in the comments saying that it won't be a feeder for international in 10 years or so. In fact, both the leagues will become the biggest brands of cricket spanning 6 to 9 months, same as football, hence trophies will matter.
See, there's still time for cricket to go the football way, because international cricket still has a lot of relevance, and we see that with the way how sometimes fans take a dig at players that, oh, you are only good for playing in the T20 leagues, and not playing well for the country. So as long as that sentiment is there, I think the prestige which is related to international fixtures will stay. And again, cricket's not a sport like football. It has 3 formats. Not everyone has to specialize in the IPL. Some players can actually uh, focus towards playing in ODIs or in test matches. So there is some way for cricket to take that route, and I think by the time cricket takes that route, uh, we might have a lot of finished products, because I still feel this route is 5 to 7 years from now. Probably in 2030, we can see the T20 leagues becoming a 6 to 9 month fixture like the Premier League in England.
Fingers crossed, and let's see. Some would, of course, be excited by that thought. Some wouldn't. Let us know in the comments below. On that note, thanks so much for tuning in this absolutely shortened watch along, 15 minutes or so. Just me and Gurkirat. Seems like a Zoom call more than a watch along. But look, this
just
is
just
how
just want to say, okay, because those who are on the watch along know that I am also watching the
BSL.
Pakistan T20 league these days. Something very funny happened today in the game. Wahab Riaz dismissed Martin Guptill, and then he went on and gave Martin Guptill a hug and a peck on his helmet.
I don't know. I don't
I'm
know.
not making this up. I'm
This is
not making
this
this
is
up.
crazy. I mean, there was a
And
lot of love
240,
exchanged. I think Babar also.
240 runs.
Yeah.
240 runs have been chased down today in the Pakistan T20 league.
Did they chase
240
that
runs.
down?
Yeah, chased it down with 11 balls to spare.
Oh
Jason
no.
Roy with 145 runs of 63 balls. He was just smashing it all around.
He
20
made
fours
Babar's
and 5
115
sixes.
look like an absolute shit show.
Yeah, Babar should actually rue the fact how he slowed down for his 100.
Yeah,
But yeah, I mean, 240 runs are still a lot of runs.
it is,
Lot
of
of
course.
runs.
Indeed. Guys, look, we can keep taking your questions. Even this one, strike rate is overrated. KL Rahul Conundrum. You guys can join us in that day one review tomorrow at 5 p.m. because we'll be talking about the fourth test, how it is a historic day with all the prime ministers popping in and all of that. So lots to, of course, look forward to tomorrow. Have a remainder of a fantastic night ahead. I don't think I'll be sleeping well because Bangalore losing 3 now is just quite upsetting. On that sad note, it's time to say goodbye from Gurkhirat and me. We'll see you guys soon. Thanks for watching. Apologies once again. Definitely going to be there for the remainder of the watch-alongs, just not today for some unforeseen circumstances. Thanks for watching. It's a goodbye from us.